What's up, everybody? Welcome to Full Force, and today we're going to be breaking down 6 mistakes brand new Counter-Strike 2 players make. When picking up Counter-Strike for the first time, it can be incredibly daunting, so these 6 tips are going to put you on the right track as fast as possible. And the biggest mistake new players have is undoubtedly bad crosshair placement. Now, crosshair placement is one of the most important factors if you want to win consistent aim duels over and over again. Each of the aim duels that you're going to be taking during matches is going to require you to put your crosshair on the enemy model, and the ideal scenario is that you have to move your crosshair as little as possible. This limits the amount of mistakes that you'll possibly make and gives you the best chance of winning the fight. And while hitting flicks across the screen look really cool, keep in mind, as a general rule of thumb, the further you have to flick, the more difficult the shot is going to be. So having good crosshair placement is going to allow you to take smaller flicks more reliably, and overall you're going to consistently win more gunfights. So in every moment of the match, apart from throwing utility or dodging flashes, your crosshair should be placed on the next most likely position that an enemy will be in. This means as you're peeking an angle or running out to challenge, your crosshair should be automatically where you most likely imagine an enemy is being, and you're peeking angles in certain areas as if there is an enemy there, even if they're not. So as you're clearing these angles, if there is someone there, your crosshair is already ready to go, and it has to move very little, if any at all, for you to get that headshot. This is called pre-aiming, and not doing this will put you at a huge disadvantage. Another part of crosshair placement is the distance from the wall that you decide to focus on. Reading whether your opponent expects you or not, if he's going to run out, crouch peek, or jump out, is a more advanced part of crosshair placement, but it's hugely overlooked, and we're going to be covering it in a future guide. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on our advanced aim guide coming soon. Now you might be wondering, how do you know where to aim or where enemies are likely to aim in any given game? Well, that ties directly into our second mistake: insufficient map awareness. You see, map knowledge is a fundamental part of Counter-Strike, and the ceiling in the game being so high is hugely caused by all the details and intricacies of each map available in the map pool. Simply by positioning yourself at a spot that people are unlikely to check, or by throwing a cheeky piece of utility, you make it easier for yourself to get a kill. Now, getting to know these elements of the game that give you small advantages on every map is not a short-term process, and if done incorrectly, can take you a huge amount of time to learn these maps. This directly ties into our biggest mistake that beginners make, and it's trying to play and learn every map simultaneously. As much as you want to let curiosity get the better of you, playing every single map, trying to learn every single map slowly, this is not a serious way to go about learning things and improving. When you want to study maps and you want to get better at Counter-Strike, familiarize yourself with 1 to 3 maps, watch guides on those maps, study callouts, and understand the most common positions that people are taking. This will allow you to not only learn these maps inside and out, but allows you to learn a lot of the other Counter-Strike fundamentals like economy, positioning, trading, and more from a bubble of understanding, because you're not trying to learn these things while you're also trying to constantly learn new maps. Another thing that we would highly suggest doing is getting used to the map by playing it offline. Putting in the cheats command and flying around or running around the map all together, this will allow you to learn things about the map that you never really got to fully learn while you're playing in game. Now also, as your map knowledge improves, so will your aim. Crosshair placement is largely based on your map knowledge, understanding where enemies are likely to play, where they're going to peek from, and how they're going to play any given position, and this will allow you to better pre-aim spots. So once you learn maps more and more, you'll also get better and better at crosshair placement, meaning you're going to win more gun duels and win more games. Now, mistake number 3, and this is a really important one, especially those of you who are coming from Valorant might not do this that well, and it's overlooking counter-strafing. Many players that come to Counter-Strike for the first time don't realize how important counter-strafing is. As the name of the mechanic implies, it is basically pressing the opposite key to the one that you're currently moving in or strafing in, so that your inertia immediately stops and you gain that first shot accuracy much more quickly. You see, in Counter-Strike, opposite to many other FPS titles, you are not accurate at all while moving, and you do not gain that full accuracy instantly after you stop pressing your movement keys. What happens if you say move with a W, but then stop pressing it and you want to shoot someone? There will be a very short period of time that you're inaccurate because your character is still registered as moving. To prevent that from happening, you will want to tap the opposite key, S in that case, while releasing the movement key. This way you cancel out whatever is left of your movement instantly, and you're able to shoot the enemy fairly accurately right away. If you never properly counter-strafe, your bullets are going to be flying in any which direction and never shooting straight, or you're going to have to wait too long, and those valuable milliseconds are going to be the difference between you dinking headshot after headshot and carrying, or you just dying out of nowhere. Now, the fourth mistake a lot of beginners make is that they don't understand how to properly communicate. Counter-Strike is a competitive format, and in 5v5 matches, they rely heavily on teamwork and communication. It is very common that lower ranked players will not communicate at all, will have bad microphones, or chat about really useless stuff during the game. What you want to develop to be a better Counter-Strike player is knowing the names of all the common spots of the map, clear audio coming from your mic. I'm using a $30 5-Find mic right now, and it works just fine, and being clear and concise with the way you speak. Try to make callouts that are very, very direct and clear to everybody, and not beat around the bush for your points. When you're communicating, your mindset should be focused on how you can help your team with your information as fast as possible. If the things you say are not helpful, just simply don't communicate them. Avoid raging, complaining, telling how good of a shot the enemy hit, or blaming your teammates. If your goal is to improve, then focus on doing everything you can to win the game instead. What you want to do is get callouts about enemy positions, give ideas on how to approach the current situation, and offer utility. Use phrases like, I'm out of players in callout position, I'm holding callout position, let's go and take callout position or bomb site, or I can flash smoke / molly callout position. Now I understand that not every one of you are going to know where the positions on the map that you're trying to call, but pay attention to what other people are calling, try to learn as quickly as possible, and learning these maps in tip number 2 that we gave you to learn maps as quickly as possible is going to make you a much more effective communicator and a better Counter-Strike player overall. Now, the next mistake new players are making is poor economy management. Economy management holds significant importance in Counter-Strike 2. The main part of the economy that every beginner should understand is that you don't have to fully spend all your cash every round. Not buying anything apart from maybe a pistol can allow you to purchase full utility, rifle, and Kevlar in the next round, giving yourself the best shot of not only winning the round, but carrying those precious weapons and items to the next round, further stacking your economy. Full utility means having bought up to 4 pieces, usually being smoke, molly, flash, a grenade, and a second flash. Now you'll use this utility to stop rushes, retake bomb sites, or set your teammates and yourself up for easier kills. Kevlar armor is important when getting shot at, as it reduces the damage dealt by weapons and prevents you from getting aim punched. In addition, having armor is going to make it a lot harder for lower tier weapons to challenge you when you have upper tier weapons, as in Kevlar armor is going to make you much more survivable, especially against weapons like pistols. When you have a rifle, the worst possible scenario is dying to a pistol user, and Kevlar helps prevent that. Now, the reason that preventing getting aim punched is so important is that if you are hit in the head or body without armor, your aim will flick up briefly, making aiming nearly impossible for that half a second or so, and that's really, really important because having it and not having it is the difference between winning or losing most duels. Now, the strategy of accumulating money so that you can afford all the things mentioned is called saving or ecoing. And normally you're going to want to do that after you lost a round and most of your team has less than $4,000. Playing one round with lesser weaponry won't change the outcome of the game, but buying every single round and not saving up for better weapons can definitely help your enemy win more and more rounds, them stacking economy, you constantly having to fight a disadvantaged fight with worse weapons than the enemy. During the eco round, take note of your current loss bonus, the money you have available, and calculate what you can buy for the next round so that you can have 4K or more so you can buy full inventory, and that can allow you to decide whether or not you can afford something like a deagle, trying to get a couple of dinks in that eco round. Now, sixth and the biggest mistake that a lot of new players are making is players simply not grinding the game enough and trying to learn everything all at once. There's only so many videos you can watch before you just need to play the game, and the more that you play, the faster that you will improve. We give you some tips, tricks, and layouts to help you along your journey, but still, the ball is in your court. Grinding games is still one of the best ways to get the repetitions down, learn the game, learn the maps, and become a better player overall. Now, if there's anything in Counter-Strike that you're confused about, let us know in the comments down below and we'll make a guide as quickly as possible. Smash that like, subscribe if you enjoyed the content and want to know more, and we'll see you next time.